You just have to simply take the risk. What I learned is I transfer that into another field. I transfer that into YouTube. I transfer that into clothes. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rosky, and we back with another video, man. It's day 2 of 75 hard, and today's video we're gonna be talking about taking risks. You know what I'm saying? But before we even get to explaining anything we're doing in this video, make sure you go click the subscribe button and like the video if you haven't already to join the family. You know what I'm saying? We're doing 75 days of straight content to improve your life. So stay tuned, man. I guarantee you the 75 days, at the end of it, you're going to turn back and you're going to be like, I learned something, and you're going to apply it to your life, and you're going to see a big difference. So click that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. But with all that being said, basically before I get into ways for you to take the risk, we're going to kind of explain on taking the risk and kind of just some different outlets you can look at it. You know what I'm saying? And one big outlet I like to look at it because I know I'm 17, so I'm allowed to drive. I'm not sure if y'all allowed to drive, but every day you go, you drive somewhere, bro, that's taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? Every time you go, even when you eat, you taking a risk. You never know what could be in the food. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to put that aspect, not put it in that aspect, but put in the aspect of chasing your dreams or chasing what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, you know, we want to do different things in life. We want to do things in life that, you know, we imagine is bigger than big, you know, that we don't think is possible. But I'm telling you today, it is possible for you to do. You just have to simply take the risk. You know what I'm saying? But once you start changing your outlook on taking risks, you're going to start realizing and applying the tips that I'm going to give you later on in this video. You know what I'm saying? To take the risk, you know, because taking a risk is the first step of building something great. You know what I'm saying? You'll never know what you could build if you don't at least try it and take the risk. So with all that being said, I'm not here to yap your heads off. Let's get into taking a risk. But before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all go click the subscribe button if you haven't already, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss none of these uploads. I'm telling you, every day is going to be a banger. Every single day. But with all that being said, let's get straight into it. Number one, what I got for y'all is change your perspective on risk and look at them as growth. Okay, so I'm gonna put in this aspect. If you take a risk in anything, bro, the only thing that could come out of it is growth or success. Or you can have growth and success. And I'm gonna get into that, right? Because, you know, a lot of times when we're taking a risk, what's the biggest fear? Losing. We're afraid we might make the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? But when you take the risk, you grow. You grow. You know what you did wrong in the first attempt you do it. Now you can take that to the second attempt or take it to something else if you don't want to do said thing. You know, like I always put YouTube as perspective. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I was on YouTube, right? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post 300 videos and whatever happens, happens. If nothing happens, you know, I at least attempted to take the risk, you know, and I'm just have to live with it. You see, you take what you did on first 300 videos, you know, the consistency, the hard work, the dedication to the grind. You know what I'm saying? If you take that risk, even if you lose, you can transfer that into something else. And I like to say this too. You know, a lot of people that are former athletes, you know, when it comes to athletes, we taking the risk. We risk our, you know, you're in high school, you risk your summer. You know what I'm saying? You risk your summer to play said sport and focus on said sport. You know, so let's say you don't make it. You know, you take the risk, but you don't make it. What I learned is I transfer that into another field. I transfer that into YouTube. I transfer that into clothes. So, you know, it never was really a loss. I hope y'all picking up what I'm saying. So that's the main thing I want y'all to get with this first tip. Reframe your thinking, reframe your perspective. That even if you quote unquote lose, it's still a grow. Because I can't tell you're going to hit 100% of the times. That's just not likely. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be times you hit. It's going to be times you don't hit. You know what I'm saying? But you got to keep going. Or even if you want to reroute, take tips, take what you learned from this first experience and apply it to the next one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all make sure to go click that subscribe button, bro, because tip 2 is going crazy, twin. I'm telling you. But with all that being said, let's get straight into tip number 2. Tip number 2, what I got for y'all is to give yourself grace. And what I mean by this is 9 times out of 10, when it comes to taking a risk, you're going to start something brand new. You know what I'm saying? Even when I first started YouTube, I wasn't as consistent as like I am now, you know, or I wasn't as savvy with YouTube as I am now. You know what I'm saying? But that's just human. You're not going to be the best when it's your first time doing something. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that discourage you, you know. Just continue to keep learning. You know, because I know a lot of people when it comes to them taking risks, even people that I know personally that want to do content or things like that, they may post their first 10 videos, you know, and then nothing happens, they 10 videos, then they just continue to quit. They just quit on it. They don't continue to do it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to give yourself grace. You're not coming in this field as like this top-notch person, you know everything about the internet. No, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Even with sports, you look at it as if you're coming young, you're not going to know everything about the sport. Even if you study, it's still going to take, you know, in IRL, real life stuff to happen for you to learn. You know what I'm saying? So show yourself some grace. You're not going to come in the field, no matter what you're doing, and be a perfect top one. You know what I'm saying? That's unrealistic, if I'm being real. That's unrealistic. Now, can you get to that #1 spot? Yes. And what that's going to take is time and learning. But you're not going to get just off the bat starting perfect. You know, so get that out your head. But don't let that discourage you. That's the main thing. Because people let that discourage them when they're not perfect or they're not getting the results that they want to early on. That discourages them. So don't let that discourage you. Keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to say this, on YouTube, some people blow up on YouTube in 2 months. Some people blow up in 5 years. Some people blow up in 10 years. But the moral of the story is, if you keep going, you will see your success. And if you stop, you won't see your success. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really want to say for this tip. Don't let this, have grace on yourself. Don't let, like, if it's YouTube, low views discourage you. If it's clothes or anything business, low sales discourage you, bro. Keep going, because I'm telling you, when you first get in something, you're not going to know it all. You're not going to be perfect. It's going to take you running into situations head on for you to really, like, learn for real. You know what I'm saying? But don't let that discourage you. And that's the main thing on this tip. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But with that being said, man, let's get straight into tip #3, man. All right, y'all. The third and final tip of the video. Accept that fear will never disappear. You just have to go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? And I like to say this as the fact of this, you know, I'm be honest with you, a lot of people say, you know, your fear going to disappear, but I think that's cap. Me, honestly, there's certain things that I was scared of starting off, but, you know, I just really had to just go ahead and do it and jump into the ocean, you know, jump into it to really, like, get that fear, shake that fear up off me, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, and I also kind of put this in the aspect of this, the time is never going to be perfect, because, you know, a lot of people say, okay, well, let me just get over this fear, and, you know, then I'm going to start doing it. The fear is going to be there until you do it. The fear is going to be there until you do it. And I like to say it like this. Let's say this. Your fear, you have a fear of heights. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to get over that fear unless you go out and you go to a mountain and you climb a mountain and you get, and you see, and you're on top of the world. You're on top of heights. You're up there. You know what I'm saying? So in order for you to get rid of that fear, you're going to have to face that fear, and you're going to have to take the risk. If you were scared of saying, oh, what if I lose money in this? Take the risk. You know what I'm saying? Because that fear is never going to go away. But the one thing will make that fear go away is you learn while you're in there. And what I mean by that is, let's say your fear is selling like $0 worth of product. You know, you scared you're going to go into negatives. Okay, well, what you could do is take away on why you went to the negatives. And then the next go around, apply that to the next drop. You know, when the next drop comes, you might make a little bit more money. And then you're going to keep applying that, and keep learning. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only really way to shake fear. You got to attack it head on. You got to attack fear head on. And you got to learn. You got to learn about yourself. I ain't even going to lie. You're going to have to take yourself out your body and dead ass just look down and learn about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, man, that should conclude today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I'm currently doing. I'm taking a risk. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, go back and watch yesterday's video, because that's going to explain on why I made this video today. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, y'all make sure to click the subscribe button, because we're doing the 75 hard challenge. You know what I'm saying? Today is day 2. I almost missed day 2. I ain't going to lie, but I got up out of bed and I was like, we got to do it. But with all that being said, I'll see y'all folks tomorrow.